Hey Amy, so I hope you're feeling better, but I just wanted to send over a quick macro assessment and more so just going over a few different things outside of your macros. But because obviously there's a lot more things that are equally as important, so I always try to include a lot of different things in this sort of like recap assessment type thing. So it's not just macros, but it's a few other things as well. But I'll jump right into it. Honestly, great job so far. You've had a really great attitude, and you're pretty on point with the things that you have to read over, that I send over to you on my end, and as well as updating the things in the app. I would just say over the next week or so, obviously as you get more to like feeling like yourself, just getting more in routine with updating the photos every other week, every other Monday, and measurements, which obviously we just do waist, hips, and bicep and leg. And I can resend you the chart showing like where to measure, because sometimes people measure a little bit off, like too low on their stomach or too high or whatever it is. But yeah, try not to focus so much on the weight on the scale right now, because you could end up, like at the end of this training, you could end up being like literally this almost the same weight, but your body composition is different. So you could have obviously less fat, more muscle, and you could be leaner throughout your core, and you could actually have like more muscle like in your booty and legs. And so we're doing more of like a recompositioning. So at the end of the day, you actually might be around the same weight, but you have a different figure. So there are going to be ups and downs. Obviously, sickness always occurs. Major life crises happen. Our moods, energies, all these things, play a role in what is non-linear, in terms of your journey. So everybody's journey is non-linear. There's always things that are happening, ups and downs, but you're steadily rising, even though there are ups and downs within that uphill rise. So great job. You're doing really well. And I'm going to start putting on your Trainerized calendar just a few things to make sure that you don't fall behind on like updating the photos. I'm going to do a reminder of that. Or maybe hitting your steps. I'm going to make a reminder of that if you are consistently like falling short of that, which I don't think that's a problem. But just for example, just some things that we might not realize we're being inconsistent with, or kind of lacking or falling behind on, and it'll be a good reminder to just kind of refocus those things. There's always like one or two things that we kind of put on the back burner or don't realize that we're doing or not doing or whatever it is, because it's a journey. We focus on all these little things as we go, and focus on like one or two things at a time, not everything. So sometimes our focus does get majorly like shifted onto one thing for so long that we might push some other things aside, but that's why I'm here to do these little reminders. But in terms of your check-in, you said that around like 1 or 2 o'clock you get like a midday like crash, pretty much like mid-afternoon, and let me know how your whole morning goes until like from when you wake until around like 1 or 2 o'clock. Let me know in sequence how it goes with what you like when you wake up. What's the first thing you drink, whether it's water or coffee? How long after do you wait to eat an actual meal after you wake? And then I think you usually do your workouts in the morning, maybe sometimes in the afternoon, depending on things. But just kind of let me know how that goes, because a lot of times we get into like a habit of, we'll wake up and we'll maybe drink a coffee, and then we won't eat until maybe like an hour and a half later, and then we kind of aren't that hungry, so we eat like a little bit, and then we kind of delay our water intake, and then by the time we don't realize it's 2:00 and we've hardly eaten anything for the day, maybe like 200 calories, like not even. So sometimes we get into a habit of that, and especially like in a morning type of afternoon type of deal. But let me know how that goes in the sequence of the morning time. With morning time, waking, the first thing you drink, when you drink your coffee and water, and how long after do you eat something, and what time you normally work out, which is I think in the morning usually. But you make sure that you're eating a little something before your workout, and definitely eating right after, because these little things could cause like a huge energy crash around the time that you're getting it, just because we haven't had that much calories by the time that time comes and we haven't realized it, or not enough water, or say we caffeined ourselves up like way too much without enough of like food or water, and we're just hitting a total crash. So let me know, so then maybe we can rearrange some things. But here's a good snack list of some low carb, low sugar, low fat items that are super tasty. The Pizzelle crackers or cookies you could eat a ton of them, and they're really low sugar, low carb. Dip them into some Cool Whip, like some light Cool Whip or whatever it is. Those goldfish crackers are so good. The Sweet Smarts at the bottom and the Quest bars are from Target, and I really love them. And obviously there's a ton of keto ice creams. Some of them are gross, but there are a few that are good. So it's kind of like trial and error, but whenever you get like a little craving, there are some things that aren't so high carb, high fat. But you don't really have a major problem with going over your macros. But honestly, for you in your situation, like I said, you're more of like a recompositioning type of journey. Like you don't have an actual like a lot of fat to lose. It's just recompositioning with your type of figure. So honestly, if you had a few days where you went over your fats, it's fine, because it's just going to help you build more muscle, because you need to be at your maintenance at least to build muscle. Here's another example of just like what to eat before and after a workout. Basically, if you're not hungry before a workout, like say you had a lunch that was decent sized a couple hours ago and you're just not hungry, then you don't have to have anything before a workout. But if you know that you haven't had anything at all in the day yet, or haven't eaten anything for like 4 hours and you're hungry, then I would have some sort of like simple carb like snack beforehand, and then right after like protein and a carb, and then shortly after that, whenever your body feels hungry, like a full meal with everything, carbs, fats, proteins. And I really want to start going over getting in more in touch and in tune with your hunger, because a lot of times we just get into these patterns of maybe skipping breakfast or waiting too long to eat again, and our body actually adapts and gets used to it. We just don't really feel that hunger anymore. But when we start to switch around a few things, we become a little bit more aware that we are actually hungry. I am actually hungry. I can eat a little bit right here because I'm, a little bit under my calories usually, and I should be getting in a little bit more. So I want to make sure that you and all my clients eventually gain that better in touch, like in tune sense of your true actual hunger, and satisfying it and making sure you're fueled at the right times. Especially, in the morning within an hour of waking up, and getting in water at appropriate times, like when you wake up and throughout the day, and getting in enough water, period. But also, having the right meals before your workout and after, and overall in your day, and you'll just feel a lot better. I really like your answer to this. We are definitely role models to our kids and peers and, everybody. So just always remember why you started this journey, like for yourself, and how everybody else benefits from it once you start to reach your goals, and you remember how important they are to you and why you wanted it. But yeah, with that being said, let me know if there's anything else I can go over. I'm going to start sending over like sample meal plans with like visuals. So I don't want to overload you with too much with one like assessment module. So hopefully you can read over this and listen in on this. And then Monday or Tuesday, I want to send a brand new training module. So I like to have a few weeks go by, especially in the beginning, so you can catch up and sort of focus on the previous training modules and the things that you are learning, so you don't get overwhelmed, and so you can feel more confident in everything leading up to this point. So sometimes I take a few weeks back where we just don't do too much except focus on what we've already been going on, or already been going over is what I meant to say. But yeah, that being said, let me know the one thing with meals and macros and food that you want more clarity on, and what you might feel like a little frustrated or confused about, or just not know enough about. But as we go, we're definitely going to go over more things. But at this point, let me know if there's one thing in particular I can expand more on and focus more on. With that being said, let me know when you listen to this, and we will talk soon.